I have something really great for you today, and I'm so excited to share because it has honestly been life-altering for me. Think about something that has been causing you a lot of stress, something that has been weighing on you, causing you anger or pain or sadness, whatever it is. Get into that mindset. And then what I want you to do is identify where you're feeling that pain. For example, for me, when I first did this, I felt it in my chest. I tend to feel a lot of like my stress and pain and all of these kinds of negative feelings in my chest. Maybe it's the same for you. Maybe it's in your head, in your entire body. I don't know. But whatever it is, I want you to identify where it is. Now, the next step is really simple. All you're going to do is say to it, I welcome you. You're allowed to be here. I completely welcome you. I accept you. You are allowed to be here. It's okay. I don't want you to go away. I don't want you to run off. I want you here. And what's going to happen is that feeling is going to dissolve. Maybe you're doing it right now and you feel it. Maybe you're feeling this like immense release. When I first did this, I literally started crying because it was just like this incredible release and my body just didn't know what to do except cry. And what I realized is the reason that this dissolves is because the pain is actually coming from this friction, from this pushing away of this negative feeling. And once you let go of this habit and you just accept the feeling and you just say to it, literally say to it, I welcome you. There's no more friction. How is there friction? You're saying that it's welcome. And you get to see it in a more neutral way. So it actually doesn't have the same effect on you. Ultimately, that feeling needs to be felt. And maybe you've heard that before. You need to feel your feelings through. And I have. I never fully grasped what that meant. But now, learning this exercise, which by the way, I have to give full credit to this man right here, Nick Werber. He's the one who introduced me to this. Thank you, Nick. Never met the man, but has changed my life. Once I learned this exercise, then I was like, oh, that's what it means. To really feel the feelings is to say to the feeling, you are welcome here. You're allowed to be here. This is an interesting way to start off my video, but I just felt like I needed to share that because I think this is something that should be taught in schools. Like this is something that every single human being should know. So yeah, please share this with your loved ones, with your friends, with your family, whoever. For the rest of the video, we're gonna have a little chit chat. I'm gonna go sit on that chair over there. I just thought today could be like a nice cozy little autumn chit chat video, and yeah. So let's get into it. The next thing I want to discuss is, it's not an exercise, but it's more so a concept. It's called a sensory diet. And this came from my friend Helga. And I didn't do any research into what exactly a sensory diet is, but I'm going to tell you what Helga shared with me. What it essentially is identifying all of the things that make you feel comfortable, that make you feel calm, that relax your nervous system. For example, maybe it's doing some yoga, maybe it's journaling, maybe it's having a warm drink or some hot soup, but taking the time to identify and sit down with yourself and have that conversation of what is it that when I'm feeling really stressed out that I can do, like what are activities that I can do for myself that I know are going to calm me down. And I think that it's really easy nowadays to immediately go to Netflix, social media, kind of mind-numbing activities. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do them. Like I will for sure be the one scrolling on social media or popping on Netflix. But I do also have these other kinds of activities on the back burner. But after having this conversation with Helga, it really allowed me to see the importance of it, the weight that it actually holds, like these kinds of activities. Because I just thought they were like things that I like to do that like make me feel good. Like I like to do yoga sometimes, especially before I go to sleep. Actually, really what those things are for me is like they're my sensory diet. They are what calm me down. They are what regulate my nervous system. Actually, those are the things that I really want to be gravitating towards more, especially in the times when I am feeling overwhelmed and overstimulated. I don't really want to be reaching for my phone and just scrolling on social media, but like that's just what I was doing subconsciously. I don't know if that really made sense, but I found value in it and maybe you'll find value in it. So yeah, just like sitting down, having that conversation with yourself and identifying like what it is that really makes you feel like all warm and cozy inside. Okay. The next thing is taking the idea of mindfulness, meditation, spirituality off the pedestal. Since I started exploring my own spirituality and really diving into mindfulness, I kind of put it on a pedestal. I thought that in order to be a true practitioner of mindfulness, you have to be like this spiritual guru. You have to be reading all the texts all the time. You have to be meditating 3 times a day. There have been periods of my life where I have been fully immersed. And then I have had periods where I'm out of it, where I'm not doing those things, where I'm reading fiction or I'm not reading at all, or I'm not meditating, and then I am, and then I'm not, and then I am, and then I'm not. And it's interesting because what I realized is in the moments where I was not fully immersed, I felt this sort of silent guilt. Jasmine, why are you not meditating? Why aren't you doing this? Like almost like I was doing it for a show for someone else, or even like a show for myself, when in reality is I don't need to be doing all of those things. This inner peace, this presence, it's in the leaves that crunch under my feet. It's in my own breath. It's in my toothbrush bristles as they rub against my gums. It's always there. It's all around me. Completely made that guilt, that sort of silent guilt, dissolve and float away. And yeah, just really made me realize that like I don't need to put all of this stuff, all of this like mindfulness, meditation, spirituality on a pedestal. I don't know, again, if that made any sense, but I hope that resonates with you. And if it doesn't, then well, it doesn't matter. Okay, this next little insight is about how I view my acne. I suffer from acne and I have for a while, and it's really frustrating. But recently I've been thinking about my acne more like my arm or like my foot or like something that's like part of me, and not as something that I'm trying to get rid of. Don't get me wrong, like I would much rather not have acne, and I do take care of my skin. It's not that I want to encourage it, but just having this little mental shift of like my acne is just like part of me right now. It's kind of like being present, like sitting here right now in this present moment. I have some acne and that's it. Just accepting that instead of like having these constant thoughts of, oh, it's so ugly and I want to get rid of it and I wish it would just go away and what can I do to get rid of it? Just shifting that to it's here. It's on my skin and it's part of me. And something about that has just been so liberating. It doesn't mean that like I want to have acne, but like for my mental health, it has been amazing. I feel like you can apply that to not just acne, to like anything that maybe you're not happy with on your body. Honestly, just like that first exercise, whatever it is that you don't want on you or that you're feeling, but you don't really have control over it, just tell it it's welcome. Because who doesn't like to feel welcome? Everyone loves to feel welcome. I think this like welcoming, this practice of welcoming and accepting is actually just love. Loving ourselves, all of ourselves, not just the good, but also the bad. And realizing that the bad is not really bad. It's all just neutral. That's all I have to share. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was just me going on and on, but I hope you found something in it. These are just, little life lessons that I've gathered, little insights that I've gathered recently. And if you have any that you've gathered recently, I would love to know them. So please leave them in the comments below and I will be sure to read them. And that's all I have to say for now. I will see you in next week's video. Thanks for watching.